Hey guys, welcome to Neat Movie News. My name is Dean Thomas.
His name is Dean. We like Dean.
And in theaters this weekend, we've got John Wick, Chapter 2.
Somebody please get this man a gun.
You stabbed the devil in the back. To him, this isn't vengeance. This is justice.
Now, the first John Wick movie was an awesome action movie. Nobody saw that coming. I mean, Keanu Reeves had not been in anything great in quite a long time, if we're being completely honest. It came out of nowhere and blew a lot of us away. It was an incredible action movie with a great hook, with a great character, with a great world they had built. And John Wick Chapter 2 is a great addition into this Wick universe they've created. Now, one of the major things with a lot of action movies that kind of come out in recent years, they've got a little bit of lower budget. They're really just not well done. From technical aspects, they're pretty cheap. The story's pretty bad. Execution isn't anything special. But what John Wick has been able to do is take all the elements of an action movie and ramp them up to a whole nother level and do really impressive things just from a technical standpoint. And that's one of the highlights for me for John Wick 2 was, one, the action like the first movie. I have so much appreciation for the amount of work you can tell both Keanu and just all the stunt team in general puts in with the amount of work you can see from the hand-to-hand combat, how much training they went through, how much of the gun training, and what they've now kind of copyrighted the term of gun fu, where it's how do they maneuver with the gun, how do they fight with it. It's not just a shoot and point, it's the way he maneuvers, different angles, the way he holds it, the way he uses it in combat. That's all awesome to watch because the director of this was one of the co-directors on the first movie, and it's because both of those guys, and now Chad Stahelski, I believe his name is, he was originally a stunt guy, so he knows how to shoot this stuff too, because the camera work in these movies is impressive, because where a lot of movies nowadays like to just do a bunch of quick cutting, you can't really tell what's going on, and it's supposed to just make it imply that there's action. These John Wick, both the first and now the second, really do the action. They show you it. They use really awesome camera angles and shots with whether it's driving in a car, shooting, hand-to-hand combat, everything is all really well done. The lighting of this movie is really impressive. The cinematography, the way they use colors, the way they use kind of these neon blues and these kind of colors that really just fill the screen, and they always give it a really cool like metallic kind of flair to it, kind of this blue metallic look, which really kind of gives it a hard edge in my opinion, and is just another element that kind of helps build the world that John Wick kind of exists in. In this one, you know, you're a little worried because the first movie had such a great hook with the dog that, you know, you could come and going, are they going to get too big with the story? No, it really does work. The story is still relatively simple, but it's you understand why he's doing it, why he's once again forced back into his former job, his former life. I really liked all of that. I believed it. It wasn't like, oh, he's just doing this so we can make a movie. It's like, no, there was a legit story to tell here. The music I really liked. It kind of got this swelling rock kind of music with some drums and some good electric guitar going. So as a guy that's a metal fan, I was a big fan of that. And overall, I think this is a really fun action movie just from top to bottom with this good simple story. This one takes place in Rome, which is always such a great backdrop for assassins and hitmen. So that played really well into the John Wick universe. And as I said, they expanded on certain things well enough of the world of the hitmen, kind of the code they have to live by, certain things, the way where John Wick goes to, you know, get a new tactical suit, where he goes and gets guns, different weapons, the people he interacts with is all really cool and builds out the world even more. They even expand on the Continental a little bit, the hotel for hitmen, which is just an awesome concept. I really liked how, once again, just they're building this world out really nicely, but not just shoving it in your face. They know how to do it. Now, this movie definitely wasn't perfect. For me, one of the things is there's some action scenes in this movie. While they're awesome action scenes, they go on a little too long. It's kind of like I wish they would have just condensed them a little bit, but they kind of just keep going and going and going. And then there's occasionally, especially the first half of the movie, it starts off with an action scene that's great. It gets a little repetitive because it's such a long action scene, but then you don't get another action scene really until the second half of the movie. And John Wick is an action franchise, it's an action movie, so when you give me that much action for that long and then none at all, it kind of creates a pacing problem for me. And while the second half definitely got a little bit better. It still had those issues where some of the action scenes went on a little too long and then it'd take a dull kind of break. Not that they were boring. I mean, it was servicing the story and all, but it's just, you notice when it's this high octane action and then kind of nothing. And then as far as the action scenes running on too long, I also thought the movie went a little long. This movie is over 2 hours, where the first movie was about 140, which I thought was a pretty good time for it. And this one definitely felt long. It kind of felt like it kept going and going, where I thought they really could have trimmed some things up and really got it in there nicely. And those would be my two biggest gripes, is the too long of action scenes with not spacing them out well enough, where there's some gaps, and also just the fact that the movie ran a little long. Those are my two big issues with this movie, but overall it's a great action movie. We don't get a lot of these pure action, kind of those throwback to the 80s and 90s movies. And like I said, in the very top of this video, the stunt choreography is incredible. The hand-to-hand combat, the gunfighting is all awesome. The fact that Keanu Reeves does basically all his own stunts, I mean, that's just another kind of cherry on top, and another reason you can just really appreciate these movies. So for me, John Wick Chapter 2 is a really fun action movie. I would still give the edge to the first movie personally. I think it's a little bit of a tighter movie, and the story's got that emotional hook just a little bit more. You know what I'm talking about if you've seen the first one. So for me, John Wick Chapter 2 is a really fun action movie. I'm going to score this one an even 80%. I mentioned a couple of the gripes I had with it, but I still think if you're looking for a really fun time, a violent time at the theater, John Wick Chapter 2 is definitely for you. I definitely suggest checking it out. Well, there you guys have it. That's my review of John Wick Chapter 2. Make sure you're following me on Twitter at NeatMovieNews for all the latest in the world of movies. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you back here next time.